Continuing on in our podcast series about messaging, we are going to talk about writing your messaging from the wrong part of you today. And I'm going to start with this, right, funny little story. Let's start here. One time, um, the way that the way that my brain works is when I watch movies, most movies, I know who the bad guy is by the end of act one, right? If it's a three act kind of thing, um, I can tell who the bad guy is. There's clues. There's all kinds of clues. And I don't spoil it for everybody else, but right, I I can I can get it. So when there's a director who has little Easter eggs and surprises and nuggets in their stuff, I love it. I love it when I am surprised. I went to go see with my younger sister, my 10 years younger than me sister, Signs, the Alien movie from M. Night Shyamalan, who's one of my favorite directors. Yeah, I know he's controversial. You might hate him. I don't. I love his movies. They surprise me all the time. He's got all these little nuggets and these little Easter eggs in there, and I love them. I love them. So we went to go see Signs, and we went to a nighttime show. And Signs, if you haven't seen it, right, it's an alien movie. It's pretty clear. One of the things about the aliens is they, right, they speak in these little clickety clacks. And in a theater, that is coming from behind you. So it's this intense kind of sensory experience. And it's not the normal, like, bang, bang kind of shoot 'em up alien movie. It's like this psychological thriller kind of movie. And you are just in it. Okay. You walk out of the theater. Oh, maybe you didn't, but I did, and my sister did. Walk out of the theater, and it is dark. And every corner that you can't see into, you know there's one of those scary aliens hanging out. And it was just this kind of visceral experience that my nerves were on edge for a really long time. And I was like, I shut the light off and I hopped into bed and I snuggled down in, I told my sister. And she said, I have not slept with the light off in a week. Then our middle sister, she went and saw the movie. She rented the movie, watched it in her own house without surround sound in the middle of the day. And she was like, you guys are weird. That is not even a scary movie. It was to us. Fear can stick with you for a long time. And fear is something that you can just sense. And, right, and the marketers know that. I like a good little scary M. Night Shyamalan scary movie. So I go. Ordinarily in our marketing, we don't, I don't necessarily want to scare people with our marketing. You're you're right. Like I'm the psychological thriller of coaching. You'll never know what you're gonna get. No, that's not good. But you can read somebody's marketing, you can read somebody's work and know and kind of get a sense of where they're at. Think about think about sitting in a networking room and maybe this isn't something that you consciously do. It's something I consciously do because it's the work that I do. It's the field that I play in. But you can sit in somebody's networking room and people are going around and somebody stands up and they talk about their offer, they talk about who they are, and you're like drawn in. And then the next person with the same amount of volume, with the same amount of gestures with the same amount of whatever can talk about it, and you're like, L, L. Like, and here's the interesting part. Like sometimes I hear people doing their intros and utilizing their messaging to talk about their business, and the thing they're promoting is something that I feel like I could use. It's like I want to want this, but I don't want it from you. Have you ever had that happen? Do you know why? One of them was coming from an aligned self, and the other one was coming from fear. Where is your messaging coming from? Now, I'm not saying we don't talk about fear in our messaging. In fact, a lot of times we have to name the fears of our clients. Going back to a previous example, I think I talked about in one of our previous episodes. Here's a mom who's like, my teen just won't listen. And then if we name it, your teen just won't listen, and you're afraid that holding boundaries is going to destroy your relationship. Yeah. You're afraid that they're going to put themselves in life circumstances that you're not going to be able to get them out of, aka big boy jail. Yeah. Okay, you name their fear and they're like, yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. That might be really good marketing, friend. What I'm talking about is, are you writing it from fear or from alignment? And how will you know? Okay, you will know the endotype way. And we're going to get into the endotype way. This might be a little bit of a deeper episode than what we've done before about the endotype formula, but I'm going to give you a little overview. The endotype formula, if you're a new listener to this podcast, welcome. Thank you. Subscribe, share with other coaches, please. Leave me a review, as long as it's a good one. No, I'm joking. The Endotype Formula is the personality profiling assessment that I created. And it can predict a lot of things about you and about your work and about your clients. Here's what you need to understand for today's. Are you writing from alignment or from fear? There are two sides of us in the endotype formula. There's two sides of your formula. One side of us helps us and is there to keep us protected. The other side of us is there to pour into other people, to create possibilities, to utilize creatively, to do the work that only you can do. That's where your coaching superpowers live. That's where your messaging alignment lives, is over into your coaching superpowers. But when you sit down to create marketing and messaging and a post and your website, what do you want more than anything else? To do it right. Which means there's a way to do it wrong, which puts you right back into school and fear and report cards and doing it right and getting an A on the assignment if you're somebody like me. Or maybe the fear comes from, I'm about to put myself out there as a coach. Who am I to be a coach? Who am I to say that I can help fix this? Who am I? And it creates all this doubt around the people that maybe you went to in your life and you were like, I'm going to be a coach. And they were like, ha, 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 that's stupid. Or you? I had a friend who said, you're a coach and people pay you for that? Are you like Tony Robbins? And I said, I'm a lot shorter, but okay. Really? And I said, imagine all the coaching you've been getting for free all these years. You're going to have to start paying me for it. We didn't talk about coaching anymore after that. But those things are in your head when you sit down to write messaging. So what can happen inside of you, my friend, is that your protection side of you kicks in. Your do it right side of you kicks in. That protection and do it right side is often governed by a part of us that I refer to as the parent part. That parent part is connected to a unique thing. So for me, it's connected to significance. My parent part wants to make sure that I do significant things, that my clients know they are significant, and it wants to infuse a whole message of significance into my marketing, making me think that that's what my clients really want. But it stinks of fear. It stinks of my fear. And when I get up and I talk about significance, people are like, okay, I want to want what you're selling, Laura, but I don't. Because it's wrapped in a bubble of protection and fear energy. When I talk about it from my unique coaching superpowers, which connects to power, empowering other people, creating autonomy, and it creates voice, being heard, being understood, being recognized for what you have to say. People are like, oh, I want that. Can I have that? If that's what it is that they're craving. I'm not saying everybody, but my ideal clients respond, and they respond energetically. They're responding to a different energy because now it's wrapped up in this bubble of coaching superpower instead of this bubble of fear. The majority of coaches that I work with have written from their parent energy. Laura, what's my parent energy? That is a great question, friend. First, I need to know your endotype. Do you know your endotype? If you do not, you need to go and you need to take the endotype quiz. It's 4 questions. It takes you less than 5 minutes. And if you send me, hi, Laura, I'm an angry thymus visionary. Hi, Laura, I'm a contributor. Hi, Laura, I'm a conductor. Hi, Laura, I'm a counselor. What's my parent energy that I have to watch out for in my marketing? If you send me a message, I will send you your parent energy. Now, some of you aren't going to go through that hassle. I get it. And you don't really need to. What you need to know, here's the important thing. When you take that endotype quiz, on your profile, there's going to be a little box that says, your coaching superpower is. That's the thing your clients want to buy. They don't want to buy my attachment to and my protection mechanism of significance. I can't infuse that into my marketing and think it's going to work. They want to buy, you are powerful. You are amazing. You have something amazing to say in this world. And you think you're saying it in a way that should connect, but nobody's listening. Or at least it feels that way. Your clients aren't responding. And you don't know why. I can help you figure out why. I have a clear formula for that. Let's work together. That power, voice, power, voice, power, and voice. Do you hear that in my messaging? Of course you do. Because that's my coaching superpower. So for you, take the quiz, look at your coaching superpower, and then go do your own audit of your message. Am I hitting and really building on my coaching superpower? Or on a different thing I feel like's really important? Because that parent piece of you will make it feel like it's really important. And it is important for you. It's just not important for your clients. Does that make sense, friends? I hope that makes sense for you. Again, want to know that parent? I can help you with that. drop me a line and I will send it to you for free. If you want to discuss how it might be showing up, you can also set up a connection and direction call. Do you know you can get a free 20-minute call with me anytime? You set up a connection and direction call, and we're going to connect and we're going to get you some direction in a specific area. 20 minutes is a perfect amount of time to do a little message audit and to see whether or not that parent piece of you is showing up in your marketing, because that might be why your clients aren't responding. Talk to you soon.